How much for you and your girls?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are we doing? In today's video, I'm going to talk about two different stories from the one trip in Vegas. One is how we basically got a whole Vegas trip for free, and another one is how we all nearly got like murdered. So if you want to hear my whole wild, crazy Vegas trip story from when I was like 19, then keep watching. Today we are doing a mukbang. So I'm very excited about both these things. And I'm doing a mukbang and I'm telling you a story. Now, I was gonna just tell this story by itself, but then I was cooking my dinner and then the idea came to my head. Do a mukbang. Don't know why, don't know what possessed me to do it, but I'm doing it. So the first thing I'm having is some camembert, which is cheese. Breadcrumbed cheese. We're feeling the January health vibes clearly. So the first thing I'm having is that, and then I'm having, oh look at that, and then I'm having some pasta as well. Had to bite into this because camembert is one of my favorite foods, like definitely. So yeah, I have camembert and then I have my signature pasta dish as well. I'm going to talk about today the time me and my friends went to Vegas when none of us were 21 and we basically got a free Vegas stay, like into all the clubs. We got a free hotel, we got the works, and something very strange happened as well, and I'm going to talk about the whole thing and kind of, I've never told this story before on any of my social media or anything. Also, I am not liable for anything that happened in this story. I'm not giving names of my friends and I'm not giving names of other people. I'm going to try some of the pasta now as well. So how I make this before I get into the story is, this is obviously fresh pasta because any other pasta just isn't worth it. Don't at me. You cook the fresh pasta, which takes like 3 minutes. And while that's cooking, you cook some bacon pieces or turkey bacon pieces or corn pieces on the side in a pan. And when they're cooked, you take it off the heat and you put the pasta in, you mix some egg in and some parmesan, and that's basically like the sauce. So there's actually no sauce in this because most pasta dishes have really creamy, high calorie sauces. And you just mix it all together and it makes the most amazing pasta dish. Right, so where this all starts is me and my friends were on a J1 in San Diego in Pacific Beach. So a J1 visa, you have to be in college or studying, and it's like a working visa, so you can only go for 3 months working. So it's like a working holiday visa, I guess. Now, I had actually dropped out of my second college course at this time, so I actually wasn't on the J1 visa, I was on the holiday visa. Why is camembert so good? It's so good. It's honestly so good. I'm dipping it into cranberry sauce in a little packet that comes with camembert. And basically, when Irish people go on a J1 visa, at the end of it, they kind of travel a bit using the money they'd earned during the summer. So we were traveling to Vegas. Now, one of my friends, I'm not mentioning any names here. So I was with my friends, Betty, Mary, and Sarah. Oh no, and there was another friend there actually. So there was Betty, Mary, Sarah, and Louise. So one night, two of my friends, Betty and Mary, they basically had a really good contact with a guy in San Diego who was very wealthy. So one night we were invited to a barbecue in this guy's house, and we had planned to go to Vegas anyway. And we didn't realise how rich these people were. And I was on Google Maps. And we were like walking to the house because we were staying in Pacific Beach. So Pacific Beach isn't that big. So we were walking there and I was like, guys, I think we're nearly here. I think it's the house on the left. And we looked to the left and I kid you not, it was like this mansion. And it was going to the barbecue. It was, I think, Betty, Mary and Amanda. There was me, Betty, Mary and Amanda. And we were going to this barbecue. In the barbecue, talking about how we were going to Vegas. And one of the guys at the party was like, oh, do you know anyone in Vegas? Like, it's good to have connections. And Mary goes, yeah, we know Calvin Harris. Because she thought he meant like, do you know anyone who's playing? And we were like, yeah, we know Calvin Harris. And he was like, oh, you're fine. So, and then we were like, no, we don't know anyone. So this guy ended up giving Betty this number, right, for a guy. And he gave us his name. Say his name is Mark Sullivan. This guy's name is Mark Sullivan. So we got this Mark Sullivan's guy's number. He was like, get on to him, he'll sort you out. You know, just tell him when you're coming and tell him you're my friend and you'll be sorted. So we thought, great, you know, we might get on a few guest lists. Like, it might be easier for us to get into clubs or whatever, because bear in mind, none of us are 21. So only Louise and Amanda, I think, were 21 at the time, but me, Betty and Mary were not 21. And Sarah wasn't 21 either. I think we're like 19. So we're like, okay, great, it'll be easier to get into clubs or whatever. And next thing, me being me, the gal I am, I was like, okay, we need to Google this Mark Sullivan guy. Google the guy, and he's like some head of something for the MGM Group. Now, you might know the MGM Hotel in Vegas. Well, there's a group called the MGM Group. So it's basically, the MGM Group owns all the hotels. So I Google this guy and his LinkedIn comes up. And I'm like, hold on a second. The MGM Group. So he's like head of something at the MGM Group. I know what he was head of, but I don't want to say it just in case, you know, names. So this guy was head of something at the MGM Group, right? So the MGM owns the Bellagio, the Aria, the MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, like the Park, New York, Luxor, the Excalibur, whatever. I don't think at the time we kind of grasped how like important that was. I was like, guys, hold on, like, this is serious. Like, this guy isn't some random guy who like lives in Vegas. This guy is like well connected in Vegas. But at the time, the reason we were going to Vegas was there was like a big crew of all Irish people on the J1, and we'd all planned to go out with like other friends we'd made at the same day, and two of our friends were actually going to get married there in a ceremony. So we were going after that wedding, so we had all already planned to stay in the Luxor. Like, that was what we had planned to do. Betty texted this Mark Sullivan guy and was like, hey, we got your name from whatever his name was. We're coming out to Vegas, me and my 3 friends, like, what can you do? And he was like, oh my God, send me on your names and your numbers and all this kind of stuff. I'd love to meet you, like all this. He was like, oh, do you have anywhere organized that you can stay? And at the time, us being the complete idiots we are, we're like, oh yeah, we're planned to stay at the Luxor. And he was like, oh, give me the name of, you know, your booking and whatever, and I'll sort you out, is all he said. So we didn't know what that meant. Like, we were dumb 19-year-olds. Like, if this happened to me now, I'd be a lot more smart about it, but we were stupid. Like, absolutely stupid. So we were like, oh yeah, we're staying here, we have it already booked, whatever. Time passes, and I think Betty's still like texting this head of whoever he was. Like, not texting, but like staying in contact before we go to Vegas. So he's all like, oh, we should meet for dinner, and I'd love to meet you girls, and like so friendly, like so Americanly friendly, which was great. So the weekend comes anyway, we get to Vegas, and bear in mind, none of us are 21, so we're kind of on the air of caution at the moment, because I'm pretty sure there was way too many of us booked into these rooms as it was. number one, and number two, like checking into these rooms, we weren't sure if they like checked your ID. Like we all had fake IDs, but like my fake ID was the shittest thing. It was a girl I knew from home, and it was her passport from when she was like 12. And the only thing that was similar is like she had brown hair. And I had blonde hair at the time. So like none of this was similar at all. So we get to the Luxor and we check in, whatever. And we were actually idiots. So we had booked rooms under this guy. He was like our friend there. This guy's name. So we get up to the room. First of all, my friend goes to the counter and she's all like, oh yeah, that was all sorted, like that's all paid for. So basically our room had been paid for by this Mark Sullivan guy. So we were like, oh my god. So we get up to this room and it's like this massive ass suite, like absolutely huge. And then it has like this connecting door to another room, which is like a basic room. And because there was like 4 of us, the basic room had like 2 double beds, whereas the other big massive room had like just 1 double bed and then like couches and stuff. So we were like, okay, we all want to be together, let's stay in this smaller basic room in Vegas. Because the other people we had booked with, we were like, we'll give them that room, because technically he booked it, but we were the reason. Like, I'm assuming the booking was supposed to be like just 2 double rooms connecting, but because this head of something at the MGM Group got on, he had like upgraded us and we didn't even take advantage because we were dumb 19-year-olds. We get to the room anyway, we're chilling, lying in the beds because we were sleeping on air beds all summer, and we had just taken the Greyhound bus to Vegas. If you know, the Greyhound bus in America to Vegas from San Diego, you know that all we needed was a shower. Like, we felt vile. Next thing, there's like this knock on the door and this like guy comes in with like, do you remember the trolleys from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? Like the big, do you know the trolleys that hold luggage? Wheels in this massive luggage trolley full of like Vegas necessities. So like bottles and bottles of water, like peanut butter, bread, like all these necessities of like food. Because obviously like when you're in Vegas, number one, food and stuff's expensive, and he knew we were students, and number two, like it's so hot. And like these sweets and like fruit and like this massive thing full of it, like on this cart. And he was like, oh, Mark sends his regards. Like just all this free stuff along with the free room that we had already gotten. And next thing, Mark texted and he was like, hey, I would have loved to meet you for dinner. Like, you know, I always like entertaining my guests, but I'm so busy at the moment. I hope I can meet you, but understand if I can't. Like, I've sent a welcome present to the room and like I've organized loads of stuff for you, blah, blah, blah. So basically we'd got on like all the guest lists for like Wet Republic, for Dries, for the Bellagio, for MGM, for Calvin Harris, like everything we had gotten the guest list for. But bear in mind, we're still 19, we're still underage. So just because you're on these guest lists doesn't mean you actually get in. They still check your ID. So long story short, we got in everywhere bar the MGM Grand for Calvin Harris, because obviously the MGM Grand staff knew that we weren't 21 and that our IDs were absolutely shit. So that was annoying, because I'm pretty sure like we had like bottle service and table service, and it was absolutely wild. And also when you're in Vegas, especially as a girl, like everything's free, like drinks are free. Like you walk in and it's like you're put on a table with these men. So like men would like request you to come to their table, and then you like go to their table. Like we all did it because we were like a group of girls, so we were like, we're safe, we're fine. So like 6 of us like went to this table, and then basically they've like bottles and bottles, but you can't get the bottle and get your drink yourself. Like that's like bad manners. So you have to like wait for them to offer you a drink, but then once they offer you a drink, it like keeps free flowing, like Grey Goose. Like, oh my god, there was this one table we were at and Betty was talking to one of these guys. I'm pretty sure it was Betty, and he was like, yeah, just pick like what bottle of champagne do you want for the table, and she literally just picked the most expensive one on the menu, and like these girls came out, like it was insane. And especially for us, like we were only 19 at the time, we shouldn't have even been in these nightclubs in Vegas, and we were literally getting like a free experience in Vegas. It was wild. We get to, on the Sunday I think, we were going to the Wet Republic party, but of course I wear contacts, I'm blind, and didn't my contacts split the morning of the Wet Republic party? So that was great. Had to go with Sarah to a big massive Walmart to get new contacts. They had to do a new eye test for me and everything. It cost like $180. It was probably the most expensive thing in Vegas. Like other than that, I don't think I actually spent a lot. But Betty and Mary and Louise and Amanda and all them were like already in the Wet Republic party, so like we'd no problem getting in, anything like that. And we were talking to these group of guys, but they were kind of no crack. Like they were fun, but they weren't very exciting. So we went on the search of more people to talk to, and we found these guys who were on a stag, big stag party, whatever. They had bottles and bottles of Grey Goose, and like our 19-year-old selves were like, yeah, we're sticking with these guys, we're here to party, whatever. So next thing, Wet Republic was like dying down, and these guys, there was loads of them. I was chatting to one of them, he was like the cutest thing, and then some of them were kind of dodgy looking, but they were all fine, you know, they were on a stag. And we were like, right, so I think at the pool party in Wet Republic that day, there was Betty, Mary, Sarah and Louise. Amanda wasn't there. Amanda went to Iggy Azalea, I think, or something. So the guys are like, oh, come up to our suite, like we'll have drinks, we'll have a party, like we'll continue the party there, like blah blah blah. And we kind of had a bit of a like girls deliberation. So we got in a circle and we were like, right, like none of us were too well on, we weren't like that drunk, and we were like, right, you know, if we stick together, if we're all safe, it'll be fine. Like there's 5 of us, like there's safety in numbers, like we'll be fine. So Louise starts like counting in Irish, and it's like Hendo 3 Caracuig. Like she just keeps counting us in Irish to make sure that she sees 5 of us at all times. So we all go into this lift, and next thing one of the guys whips out like this black card which goes into the lift, which if you know what that means the Penthouse. So these guys were staying in the Penthouse. In what hotel is it? I think it's the Hard Rock Hotel that Wet Republic's in, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, these guys were staying in the Hard Rock in the Penthouse in the Hard Rock. I have pictures. It was insane. There was like a big massive gold bath in the middle of it. Like the music was blaring. I had my playlist on, and it was like, I had Spotify on and I just shuffled it, but it was like banger after banger after banger, like such good songs. And like they had Grey Goose pouring, whatever, and next thing the guys came with like a menu. They were like, order whatever you want. We were in like the jacuzzi, which was like overlooking the Vegas Strip, which was like insane. It was like this massive penthouse, like bigger than, it was like a massive apartment, like bigger than any room I'd seen, like huge. And I remember we were looking at the menu and it was all so expensive because obviously it's like room service in Vegas, in the Penthouse, in like the Hard Rock Hotel. Our idiotic 19-year-old selves were like, oh, we can't order something too expensive, like what if we offend them, like all this. And like looking back in it now, it's like they were staying in the Penthouse in the Hard Rock Hotel. Like they didn't care what we ordered. So I think we all ordered burgers and chips. So this butler comes up, like, do you know the things that like, where they serve hot food, but it has like the cover on it, like the massive gold cover, and like taking it off, and, like all this wild stuff. And you know, we were in the it was like a massive hot tub. It was like a pool basically in this penthouse suite. And like, so that was like outside. But then anytime we'd try to go inside, one of the guys would have to go with us, which first of all got us kind of like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what are they hiding? Or like, do they not want us to steal from them? And then we're like, okay, realistically, they've got a lot of money in here and like probably like gold, and like these guys weren't American. So that was fine. My music was playing. We were happy out. We had like, the Grey Goose was flowing, and like Grey Goose is the most dangerous form of vodka because you cannot taste it. It tastes like you're drinking water. So we were drinking that, whatever, and next thing it got to like we were chatting and we were planning on going do that thing in Vegas. It's like I think it's like the 360 thing that you can like see all of Vegas, or it's not a hot air balloon, but it's like some lift thing. I don't know, we were all planning on going on that later. We were like, oh yeah, we'll go home, we'll get dressed, like we'll meet you there, like all this stuff because we're 19 and stupid. And Betty was talking to one of the guys, and sorry, there's a fly in my room, rude. So Betty was talking, like, where the hell, I hate flies, where the hell did he come from? And he turns around, right? So Betty was chatting away, like we were all chatting away, like nothing weird was going on, whatever. Next thing he turns to Betty, one of the guys turns to Betty and he's like, how much for you and your girls? So Betty didn't tell us this at the time, and she was basically like, Betty was the best person to say that to, because she shut it down. She was like, do you not know who I am? Like, she pretended her dad was like this big massive mob boss of like, I can't tell you because that would give away who she is, but she pretended like her dad was like this big massive mob boss and basically like terrified your man. And next thing she came over to us and she was like, we have to go, we have to go, we have to get out of here, like it's not safe, like he's weird, like weird stuff is going on. And we were all like, why? This is such a great party, we're getting like so much free fucking Grey Goose, like don't ruin this. She like basically was like, no, we have to go, we have to go. So we were like, okay. She was like, no lads, I'm serious, it's not safe, whatever. So we're like, you know, giving each other the eyes to like go. And next thing the other guys are like, what did he say? Like if you like, you should feel safe, like. And he started like verbally like attacking the other guy. He was like, what did you say to those girls? Like, they're so nice, I can't believe you creeped them out. Oh, the fly is on my camera lens. Oh my god, that's not even the fly. Oh my god, that's this. I thought that was the fly. Screaming at him, being like, I can't believe you creep these girls out, like they're so nice, like we've been with them all day. Like, so while they were arguing, we took it as our opportunity to bolt. Like we were like in our bikinis, and the pool party had been done for a few hours, so we were still in like our swimming gear, like our bikinis and whatever. We had our clothes, but we ran so fast out of the hotel that we were like in our bikinis. So we bolted out of this massive penthouse, bolted, like just kept running, like. And then Louise was like, hey, don't drink Araquig, hey, don't drink Araquig, because she was counting us while we were running to make sure we were all there. And we get into the lift and we're like mad, like we thought we were going to die. Like we were like, right, this is it, this is where we die, you know. So we were in the lift, like pressing the buzzer, like, oh my god, get us down. And the lift, it felt like for ages one of the girls was like deep breathing, like it was so dramatic at the time, as you can imagine. And the lift like pings at the bottom of the thing, and we get out, and next thing we hear the lift beside our lift that like came down at the same time, like coming to ping. We're like, oh my god, that's them, they're chasing us. So we're down at the bottom now of the Hard Rock Hotel at like 7 o'clock in the night, when like everyone's in their dresses, like gambling, like, you know, it's Vegas, everyone's glam. And we bolt through the Hard Rock Hotel, like in our bikinis, like the middle of the night, and we like hail a taxi. We're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it was just so dramatic. And then, so we get in a taxi and we turn to Betty and we're like, what the fuck, like what did your man say? Like what freaked you out so much that we had to leave? Like those guys were chill, they were fine. And she was like, oh, he asked like how much. And we were like, how much for what? And she was like, us. And I was like, and did you give like a ballpark number? Were we talking in the like 100,000? I'm joking. Yeah, so we got back to our hotel. We never saw them again. One of the guys did keep texting, being like, hey, I'm so sorry, where are you? Can we still do our plan for tonight? Like, and we could have done that, but we also could have got murdered, so we decided not to. I hope you enjoyed the story on number one, how I got like a free Vegas trip, because basically we spent like no money. The only money we spent was like on food in the McDonald's in the Luxor. So yeah, we got a whole free Vegas trip, free into all the clubs, on the guest list for everything, like no queues. And then we also nearly got murdered. So, I mean, take from that what you will. Always be safe when you're drinking, folks. So yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed that little story from my life. If you want to see more story times, definitely give this video a big massive thumbs up, so it'll let me know that you like the story times and I should do more of them. If you want to see my other story time that I uploaded when I was drugged in Ayia Napa, you can find that in the link below in the description box. As I always say in all my videos, if you like my vibe, don't forget to subscribe. I want to reach 2,000 subs by the end of January, so we're gonna see how that goes, you know. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.